Hello and welcome back to the second week of the Daily O. I'm Alex Dusky and I am here in the Ocali newsroom. We have been reporting news here since 1895. It's a great room. Lots of the SMSC students hang out here, do the paper, prep the news shows. It's a great experience to be down here. In case you missed it, on Friday's show, we aired a video about 6 OSU students who lost their house in a fire. I'm joined with Ocali writer Mac Vandriff, who reported this story. Mac, you were there, you talked to the students. What was that experience like, seeing all the emotions that they were going through in those hard times?
Yeah, they were all actually pretty relaxed. They had just, of course, lost their home, but they were very, very thankful that they were out at the lake whenever the lightning strike happened. So no one was injured, and their dog that was locked inside the house made it out safe. So they were very thankful that someone managed to save her as well.
It definitely could have been worse, but we're all glad that they were all safe. We're going to play that video for you guys right now.
That includes Oklahoma City, Stillwater, and Tulsa. And again, that's for that round of storms this morning. Those will be pushing out around noontime, and that's when we take a look at the afternoon forecast, when we have a 30 to 40% chance of rain in the afternoon, but it will be less than what we are going to see this morning. So make sure that you have that umbrella, that poncho, that rain jacket for the remainder of the day, just to be safe in case there's any pop-up storms like yesterday. We're going to be seeing highs around 90.
And so I had a missed call from one of the guys that lives next door. So I called him back and he said, hey, your house is on fire. There's like 6 fire trucks here. When you get back, don't come around front. You have to come in the back.
When we pulled up, we thought the entire thing was going to be on fire, but luckily it was just a small fire. Unfortunately, though, it was right between our 2 rooms, so we knew it would end up being pretty serious.
I thought my whole room was like gone. I didn't really know the seriousness of it, but one of the firemen came out and was talking to us, and he said, hey, who's in those top corner rooms? And we said us, and he said, yeah, it's not good.
We ended up spending about an hour and a half outside until we were finally able to come back in. Went upstairs and just started shoving anything that we could possibly get our hands on or salvage or anything into these bags, getting them out the door and over into our next door neighbor's house. Our beds were trashed. Kevin lost a TV. I ended up losing my laptop. We both had shoes that were lost, a little bit of clothes. Basically anything that wasn't in the closet ended up being trashed. So I don't know about you, I even had like old textbooks and notebooks and things like that.
I had a new textbook that I had just gotten for this semester. Yeah. I love living here. We were only here for a week, and it was really fun, really enjoying it. And so obviously super upset, but it definitely could have been a lot worse. So I was trying to look on the bright side. If I had one piece of advice, I would say get renter's insurance.
That was a great video. Thank you so much, Mac, for reporting that. Do you happen to know how much this cost? College students don't have a lot of extra money to spend.
It actually cost them thousands and thousands of dollars of damages. One guy lost his laptop, several lost their entire bed frames, their mattresses. But other than that, they managed to make it out without much of a problem.
That's good to hear. Like I said, it could have always been worse, but still not a good situation. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mac. We are now going to send it over to Josh in the Ocali Storm Studio for a weather update.
All right, good evening, Stillwater. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Ocali Storm Studios, taking a quick look at the forecast for this evening into the overnight and early morning hours tomorrow. Relatively speaking, for the rest of this evening and into tonight, we're talking relatively clear conditions. Maybe a few pop-up clouds here and there, but nothing widespread. And then we're going to be around 70 for our temperature to start off the day around 6 a.m. So it's going to be a little bit cooler than it's been, with our low around 70 for this evening and relatively clear skies. There could be a few pop-up showers during the day tomorrow, so make sure that you tune in for that forecast video tomorrow morning for the full forecast. But for the rest of this evening, we're talking lows around 70 in Stillwater, lows for our friends in Tulsa around 70 as well, 72 Oklahoma City, 72 in Norman. So that's a look at the forecast for this evening. Make sure that you follow my social media. Like I said, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can even be notified of posts and weather alerts throughout the day on my Telegram. And make sure that you follow my forecast every morning. You can find those on the Facebook page for the Ocali. That's at Ocali. You can also watch on ocalitv.com. So make sure that you tune in for those and my full extended forecast. Thank you for tuning in. I am Joshua Weisel. We are Stillwater's Weather Connection.
Thank you, Josh, for that weather update. Cowgirl soccer has been busy this past week. I am joined with Ocali sports writer Ben Hutchins. Ben, let's start with last Thursday. Cowgirls had Bedlam in Norman, and they won. What were your thoughts from that game?
Well, Alex, let me first ask you a question. Do you like heartwarming stories?
Of course, who doesn't?
Okay, well, I'm about to tell you one. The story of Summer Chafin, a junior walk-on at OSU, who is certainly the highlight of that 2-0 Bedlam win. It was her first ever start, after walking onto the program as a junior, and she scored her first ever goal on a beautiful left-footed strike from around 18 yards away, and the celebration was something to behold as she was, kind of shocked it went in. She said she almost blacked out just because she was so excited.
Imagine getting your first start in Bedlam and then also your first goal. That's just amazing for the Cowgirl soccer program as a whole anyway. Yeah. Going back now to last night, the Cowgirls were back in Stillwater against Wright State and won again. What did you see from that game?
Well, they were in the right state of mind. The Cowgirls were. No, it was certainly a little bit of a different kind of style game for the Cowgirls, much more of a defensive battle against the Wright State. So they won 1-0 off of a header in the first half. Aside from that, it was a lot of back and forth without really a whole lot of action. Cowgirls were without a few key players in that one, so that's probably the reason behind the kind of short little 1-0 win. But they'll look to get it in action against the Stephen F. Austin this Thursday.
Do you think those players will be back, or what are you anticipating to see out of that game, another defensive battle?
Yeah, Gabriella Coleman, a forward, there's a good chance she'll be at least, getting better. She was in there, in street clothes, but looked all right. Kim Rodriguez, another, great Cowgirl player, a senior, a defender, who she's dealing with a little bit of a right ankle injury. I think she might be a little bit further away from getting back. And Olivia Dow, who is the Cowgirls' leading goal scorer last season, she played in Bedlam, but Coach Colin Carmichael said she didn't look quite right. We can expect Olivia to be back sometime, maybe within the next week or 2 weeks. She's certainly on that path to getting better.
Good to hear. Well, if you can, come out to Neil Patterson Stadium Thursday to support the Cowgirls. If not, check out Ben on Twitter. He always does live game updates. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for watching on the Daily O today. I'm Alex Dusky. Be sure to subscribe to the Ocali print on Ocali.com and Ocali TV at OcaliTV.com. Tune in tomorrow to check out Carson. I know he'll be back outside with the Daily O. Thank you for watching.